recently posted a video about our boosted board that is finally repaired after 2 years, and right after that we got a Norwegian customer coming in with his boosted board. This is generation 2 with a removable battery pack, and also changed from 36 to 48 volts, and he said this one didn't want to charge anymore. No, it's probably waiting for a signal or something like that. No, it's whining. Here's 2.5 adapter. Let's see what voltage do we have in the charging port. We have no voltage in the charging port, but there is obviously enough voltage for this one to whine. As I asked an employee to screw it up, but don't open it yet, because I want to do this on video and show you how silly they are. You can see that there's a lot of dirt in here, so let's see how dirty the battery is. Just removing enough so I can use my screwdriver. I think it was Segway that started this trend, using too much silicone on glued together edges. You should probably start over here, since there's no cells until you get into this part. I can see the dirt. Before we pull it from the back, we're gonna make on the corners. Now you should use some plastic tools and put them in here, not metal ones, to keep the pressure towards the upside. Come on, come on. Not that flexible. So let's see what we got here. They've learned from their mistake and didn't add a ton of silicone, just around the edges, and I can't see any water or dirt in here, so that's pretty hopeful. I haven't seen any white cells before, so I assume these are just holders. Gonna have to open it up even more, see what we're dealing with. I'm bending here on the plastic parts, not on the cells themselves. Have to access the BMS or the ports to measure something. That was a good sound. That was also a nice sound. Holy crap! No, it was just me who... That was a good sound. Shump, a big shump. Oh, another good sound. We're almost there. I think we have this side almost loose. Ah, awesome. And we got dirt on the poor battery pack. This side loose now. Loose. Yeah, loose. And a good sound. That's the other side that's still. Yes. Now we're minutes away from seeing how it looks on the other side. This one is actually up now, so if we can lift it up. Yes. Let's not damage anything important while we're here. Okay. So it was silicone on the sides over here. Didn't expect that. I expected it to be a bunch here, but as you can see from the bottom, no silicone was used. It was just on the sides here, so prying over here. And you should also be able to pry here. Yeah, let's start measuring again. Can't really tell how many cells they are using, or can you? No, you want to see two, don't you? Getting nothing, but there is a lot of silicone on these ones. It's hard to get a good reading, but I get nothing. But it has enough voltage to run on LED, or several LEDs, so it should have at least 5 volts. It's not picking up anything. Let's measure some random cells. There you actually have 6.6 volts, so it's not dead. These are the tabs that go directly to the battery. I can feel there is some nagellack or some plastic on them. I'm scraping them up so I can measure the whole pack. Now we're getting something. 33.34 volt, and this is a 48 volt battery pack. At least it says so on the charger. 46.8 volt battery pack, 5.7 amp hours. I think it's like before. Then it should be 16 cells. But they have to be using 2 cells to get 5.7 if you're using 8650. Oh, what a messy battery. Peel off a little bit here to see if they're connected in 2P. Now it's charging green for some reason. Doesn't like being tampered with. Here we definitely have the positive strip. And you can see that there are 2 cells connected over here. So you're most likely using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They can only fit 28 cells in here, so they're not using LiFePO4 anymore. They're using lithium ions. It's gonna be really tricky measuring which cells are low, but we measure what we can. Here we have from the positive 3.3, 3.3, 3.3. And I don't know where to measure. Where are all the wires? Where are all the wires? Probably beneath the BMS. But here we have yet 3 to measure. 3.3, 3.3, it's 3.3. It was, how are we gonna measure the other cells? They go over here. Here they have the strangest little copper wire. Probably some kind of temp sensor. I could also measure the loops. 10. That was a little... No, 10 should be fine. Did we get 46 volts? Because all the cells are 3.3, we could be getting 46 volts. But we're getting 43 volts, so there is one cell group somewhere in here that is not feeling okay. And it's probably launched somewhere in the middle. So we're gonna have to see if we can remove these mini GSTs. Well, if we remove these, we won't get it back into place. If we manage to measure these 3 ones on the outside, and the wires go in here. Yeah, these are nice, but we're gonna have to bend them up so we can remove the BMS to check the voltages under. You can also cut every one of these wires, measure them and put them back together again, but that seems like more trouble. So now we have a little bit flexibility on the BMS, which are connected with 4 screws. Does it flex? No, it doesn't flex, so it's also glued. Where is the glue? Do it like this to insulate it. Is this really a good idea? Well, the battery won't charge, so this one is golden. Maybe a fuse, so it's easy to find. This one's connected to the bottom bracket. They're also silicone here. You do not want to break the BMS into pieces. Well, we should be able to measure metal groups to know about where they are, where the bad cell is. We could just remove these wires. No, of course we can't. Everything is in silicone. So a little bit more flex, please. Let's do the outer group first. We already did them, but let's do them as a group. This one should be 10 volts, almost exactly. Now we try to measure this group. 9.8 is good enough. It's not where the problem is. On the bottom one, 13. Should be able to measure this cell, 3.3, which is probably going back here, 3.3. What happens over here? It must be the cells in the middle over here, on the top. We have no measuring points here. Yeah, we're gonna try and unscrew this plate. This one is connected to the holder beneath it, so this plate has got to go, and the only function is to hold the wires in place, but we already removed them, and there's hot glue in the corner. Oh, here we have the config. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the mess. This is a 13 battery, and then all the cells should be okay. Why are this one open? Why are they doing this? Here they have very poor connection. Okay, this is just for balancing between the blocks. This is actually connections between this. So that should be okay, but just so strange. This one seems 3D printed. Might be 3D printed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There isn't a 14. Isn't a 14 cell, it's a 13 cell, and then everything checks out, so it's not the cells. 43.34. Doesn't seem that the cells are bad themselves, but it won't charge. And he had another battery and we didn't want to leave the charger. But in this case I have a 13S charger with a DC port and a 2.5 adapter. Didn't have any voltage in the charging port, so it is hardly water damaged. And I don't know if this one actually is a fuse, but if it is, I can't replace that one. So it might be a temp sensor that's damaged. Screen and Okay, we get a light show. This one does not look happy. This one actually says debug, and it has 10 pins. Some kind of data port. Well, it is receiving a charge from the charger, but it doesn't want to charge. And well, I asked my friend Google, and he didn't know what the answer is for this red one flashing 3 times and the indicator lighting up orange. So the cells are fine, and there's hardly a bad connection to the BMS from the individual cells. So it's something wrong with the BMS itself, or these ones that might be temp sensors. So this is not something that you can repair at all. If we put just the charging, you could add a secondary BMS, but there is absolutely no space in this pack for a secondary BMS. So you're kind of fucked. If your board lights up like this, you should not open it. You should ask for a refund from Boosted, because they probably know about this error.